Yes, it's true. The Ethereum Merge Date has been announced, and that would be on September, let me check, September 19th. However, what's not true is what to expect once the merge actually happens. I've been reading articles from Radar as well as Hacker Noon, and I had to verify whether or not they're giving you the right information. Let's talk about 5 things the media is saying about the Ethereum merge. Some are true, but some unfortunately are false. You should watch to the end of this video if you would like to debunk these myths, learn what the Ethereum merge means for other layer 1 and layer 2 blockchains such as Celo, Polygon, and Arbitrum, learn how the merge can actually affect Ether's price, and finally, what you need to do to prepare. So the last testnet merge will be on August 11th, and then the mainnet merge will happen on September 19th. So when the merge happens, it means that the Ethereum network, the main network that has the entire blockchain history with the real value being exchanged, will be upgraded to the Ethereum 2 changes. So even though we're calling it Ethereum 2, it's actually still the same blockchain. It will just have the improvements that I will discuss later. But the main change is that the Ethereum blockchain will transition from proof of work to proof of stake. So here are the 5 things you need to know, and here's where I'll debunk some of the myths. The first thing that's going to happen is that the consensus algorithm is going to change from proof of work to proof of stake. So currently, the Ethereum blockchain uses proof of work, just like Bitcoin, but it's going to move to a new algorithm called proof of stake. So both proof of work and proof of stake are mechanisms to decide who gets to add the next block. Because remember, it's a distributed, decentralized network. So we have to find a way to come to agreement to decide, okay, which node is responsible for validating this block of transactions. And the node that does do it, they will receive a reward, which is usually the native token of that particular blockchain. With the proof of work algorithm, the miners have to use machines that are very powerful so that they can solve complex mathematical problems. When I say they, it's the software solving it, but it still means that they need to have machines that's compute intensive enough to be able to solve these problems. That usually is also very energy intensive. But according to Ethereum.org, the energy consumed by the Ethereum blockchain would actually decrease by 99.5% after the merge when they switch to proof of stake. The way that proof of stake works, you no longer have to use energy intensive machinery to be able to solve complex mathematical problems. Instead, you stake some value. In this case, you're going to stake ETH, and by staking this value, you are now positioning yourself as a potential validator to validate the next block. Now, if you were to do anything nefarious, like try to approve transactions that are not valid, your stake can be slashed. By switching from proof of work to proof of stake, the environmental impact that Ethereum has will be reduced significantly, and they propose that it'll be a 99.5% reduction. So this is in fact true. They are switching from proof of work to proof of stake. The second thing that people have been saying is that we will have increased transaction throughput through sharding. Even though there are 2 articles that says that this is a feature that will be included with the merge, that is not true. The Ethereum.org website says that the sharding would actually happen sometime in 2023. Another idea that's being spread about the merge is that the gas fees will be lower. Now, of course, we would very much like this to happen because that's usually the reason why people don't use Ethereum is because of the gas fees. Even the majority of the applications on there and a lot of the value is stored there, people cannot afford the gas fees. However, this is another misconception that has been circulating about Ethereum and what will happen when the merge occurs. The gas fee that you are charged is based on the network demand as well as the network capacity. Right now, the upgrade that's happening is a change to the consensus algorithm, not the network capacity. This is eventually something that the Ethereum Foundation will address. However, there are lots of layer 2 solutions that are trying to solve the problems of high gas fees by lowering the gas fees using things like ZK rollup and depending on the security of the Ethereum blockchain. This one is another myth, and developers need to pay attention to this one. According to websites like Hacker Noon and Radar, it mentions that eWASM will be included after the merge. eWASM would give the possibility to develop smart contracts in languages like C++ as well as Rust. However, when I look at the roadmap posted by Vitalik in December 2021, as well as when I look at the website, the Ethereum.org website, and I search for eWASM, as well as when I look at the eWASM discussion thread, it seems as though no work or attention is being placed on eWASM, so I do not expect eWASM to be a part of the merge. So it's still a good idea to learn how to write smart contracts with Solidity, and if you'd like to follow a free course, there's one by Decade. Sign up using the link in the description. With that course, you learn how to create your first app using Solidity and deploying it on the Celo blockchain. It also rewards you with 100 in their Celo stablecoin token, so definitely check that out if you would like to learn Solidity. Finally, another promise of the merge is that there will be reduced hardware requirements in order to operate the Ethereum blockchain, to be a full node and to be a validator. Now, it's kind of hard to see the updated requirements when I search the Ethereum org website. I'm not clear on whether the hardware requirements that I do see are for ETH 2.0 machines or ETH 1 machines. According to stake.fish, an old laptop can be used and you should be able to become a validator once you stake ETH. So now that we've debunked some of those myths or misconceptions, let's talk about what will happen to other layer 1 and layer 2 blockchains like Celo, Polygon, and even Arbitrum. First and foremost, we see that we will still have a need for Solidity. So therefore, once you learn Solidity, you can still program for all of those blockchains that I just mentioned and a lot more. As well, the gas fees are not going to be reduced, and the transaction speed and the transaction throughput is not going to be significantly affected when the merge occurs. So the reason why people use alternative chains a lot of the times is because they want lower gas fees and they also want faster transaction processing. You can still get it on Celo and Polygon, and we don't expect that the merge would bring a massive change when it comes to the gas fees and the transaction speed. However, the block time, I think, is going to reduce from 13 seconds to 12 seconds, but still it's not going to be such a massive increase that you can say, okay, well, I no longer need Polygon or I no longer need Celo. How will it affect the Ethereum's price? Investors and traders are going to speculate. So because we have articles that are pushing certain narratives, definitely investors are going to try to buy the rumor but probably sell the news, because when the merge happens and we realize that the transaction fees aren't that much lower, or we realize that the transaction speeds are much higher, people are going to be like, huh? And in general, buy the rumor, sell the news tends to be what happens in the trading and investing world. Hashtag no trading advice here, no financial advice here, but I'm just saying people are going to speculate. I do expect people to buy and sell as we draw nearer to the date. If you are a user or holder of ETH, you do not need to do anything. Your tokens still work because the Ethereum 2 upgrade still means that the entire blockchain history will remain the same. So if you see anything promoting you need to upgrade to Ethereum 2, that is a scam. So ignore it, you are fine. As well, if you're a developer, the consensus algorithm changes, but your smart contract functionality and everything you've been doing still should work. So you can still continue programming as is. However, there are changes to some opcodes, the block time, etc. So if you want more information, then definitely check here for more. And if you are a node operator, previously, if you'd like to be an Ethereum full node, you just need to have the client for the execution layer. However, with ETH 2 or with this ETH 2 upgrade or after the merge, you need to have also the client software for a consensus layer. So there's definitely more information which you can read up on. I'll put it somewhere on the screen here or the link in the bio. So now you know 5 things about Ethereum, some of which are true, some are not true. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. But I think it's very important when you navigate this space, especially if you're someone who is speculating prices, or if you're a developer, you need to actually read from the source as much as possible, because these blogger websites, they're producing content so often and so frequently. I don't think they purposely try to give you incorrect information or information that's no longer true, because there was a time eWASM was meant to be included. There was a time that sharding was meant to happen even before the merge. So I can see how these narratives get placed in. They're not super inaccurate, but it's not true for what's happening on September 19th. So definitely pay attention to people who are telling the truth. And even if you're listening to someone like me, do your own research as well to make sure before you make certain decisions. So thank you so much for watching this video, and comment down below some of the things that you are looking forward to seeing when the Ethereum merge happens. See you in the next video. Bye.